Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast.
Welcome.
This week brought to you by Dollar Shave Club and The Mummy.
Welcome.
I'm Gus.
I'm Blaine.
I'm Becca.
I am Bernie.
And I'm Gus.
Oh, 3 B's and a G.
I was gonna say it's a shame your name's not Bus.
I'm Bus. Bus Barola.
Oh.
I'm glad
you
you're
can say
here,
your name
Bernie.
twice and be a double-decker bus.
I'm glad you're here.
Why?
Mr. Too Good to Confirm.
I
He's
know.
going to be on the podcast.
I was checking you as early as this morning. I was like, is Bernie confirmed? Is he in?
What does that mean?
Everyone's
maybe.
asking me, is Bernie going to be here? Is Bernie going to be here?
What? I'm on the calendar, aren't I?
You're
maybe.
on the calendar
You
as a
didn't
maybe.
You didn't accept the invite, though.
Okay, so listen.
And you're also not replying to my text messages.
No.
No. Yes.
Your life is about to get so much easier in regards to me. You're texting the wrong person.
Should we be texting Ellie?
Yes.
Patrick, how did that go?
Did Ellie didn't respond?
Nobody's responding, Bernie.
I'll be back in a moment.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, Ellie's in.
So-
I was excited because it's one less person you have to talk to, but then I realized Ellie's a person too.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
She's a half person.
We were very worried about whether or not Bernie was going to be here, and then maybe on the calendar for the podcast does me no good. It's like I need the seat filled regardless. So it's like, well, shit. If she's not here, who am I going to get to sit here?
No, maybe means a very specific thing in my calendar.
What does it mean?
Maybe means hold the day, and then it should be confirmed and go to yes.
Okay.
Once.
But if something better comes up, then he'll take that.
Yeah,
No.
I'll take that.
No, they used to do this thing on my calendar where they'd put holds. You know, because you were in live action. And live action
that's
would
the producers. I don't
live
know.
action would do it for like a week. They'd
Oh,
say
God,
we're holding
yeah.
this whole week, and then I would find out the week of. They don't need me on Monday. They don't need me on Tuesday. They need me on Thursday. But it's like I've held the whole week.
Well,
so now it's like you send me a time, I'll put maybe on it, and then that.
Well,
that'll
what live
lock
action does, sorry, Blaine, is they'll block your week,
I don't do this.
and then they'll come down and they'll block 2 days.
Yeah.
And then they'll block 1 day, and then they'll go to an hour.
Yeah.
It's like you fucked me all week long for this hour.
It's location stuff, man. It's hard, you know. It's coordinating all that.
Yeah,
We're just trying to get it in like your generally know where and when we're gonna be shooting.
Yeah, but it's like the rest of the week is just like jam packed, and then that day's like, well, shit. Now I got nothing today except for this 1 hour.
Well, it's
Now-
awesome.
Yeah.
Live it.
Let's
Do it.
get into the interdepartmental weeds of Rooster Teeth here for a second. So one of the things that people like to do on a regular basis is bitch about the live action scheduling. Like, oh, live action took me away from my job for a day or something like that, whatever. Basically what everyone complains about, and Achievement Hunter, they're the biggest bitches about this, is they're like, oh, I only had these people for 90% of this week. You know, every single week. But it's like if live action or somebody takes them for 10% of the time, then it's a calamity and it's all over. It's like, but you walk in there any other time during the 90%, either all of them are at lunch or they're all just sitting there doing nothing, you know? And it's like, all right, I guess this 10% is really holding you guys back from success. This is what's happening.
I'm not gonna comment on this. I'm not gonna comment.
That's the real reason we brought Blaine out here. Slowly
Talk
roast
about-
you
Yeah, scheduling.
in your department.
I got the Laser Team thing right before Laser Team 2. They were still complaining about Laser Team 1. I was like, that was 3 years ago. It was a month 3 years ago. Shut the fuck up. God damn it, shut up.
Everybody's protective of their schedule, of their calendar. And then fucking some of them don't even use their calendar. I'm still getting mad at Gavin for not fixing his fucking calendar.
Ellie and we're still working out the bugs, but yeah, we'll be a lot easier to deal with. So I'm using we now. We're a collective.
Yes.
It's been a lot harder, so we'll
Belly?
see. We will see.
Well, to be fair, this is an off day for the podcast, and
This
I
is an
am
off day.
coming in from out of town.
We are.
So there's a
I
lot
guess
of variables.
I should note that we are pre-taping since it's Memorial Day, and we get Memorial Day off now.
So roll
fucking-
the first clip. Let's go.
fucking City of Austin has now, or I guess Travis County now has authorized fireworks for Memorial Day. Fireworks sales for Memorial Day.
Yes.
Oh.
No
Oh, he's got dogs.
bullshit.
Right.
Oh, you got dogs. Yeah.
I fucking hate fireworks.
Yeah.
And I've got asshole neighbors. I don't know where they are, like 2 or 3 blocks behind me, who buy like the big commercial kind that rattle your house.
Wow, so lucky. That's
You live next to
so
Jack.
patriotic.
Tillo.
Yeah.
So I can't. Like, why do we need to be able to pop fireworks on Memorial Day? What's the rationale? Fuck, I don't even
Why
like.
do we need
is
to
it-
pop
I don't like that we
fireworks,
can
period?
do it on. I don't like that we do it on 4th of July or New Year's Eve.
America.
But whatever, people already do that. Why are we adding more fireworks days? Is there really a need for that?
To be clear, 4th of July is legal to pop fireworks then, right?
Not in the city of Austin,
Yeah.
but in Travis County.
But during Memorial Day it is.
Now it is.
Wait, in Austin
So
or
not-
Travis County?
not-
Travis County.
4th of-
Sorry, Travis County. I said city of Austin at first. I meant Travis County.
Okay, so I'm very confused. Memorial Day, it's legal to pop fireworks in Travis County, not Austin?
Correct.
Okay,
It
and
is
same thing with
It is
4th of July,
never legal to pop fireworks in Austin. Only in Travis County.
but in Travis County.
But you live in Austin.
Oh yeah, I
Let's do
do.
a Venn diagram.
I mean, not to.
But
people don't
not
give
to
a
dox
shit.
you.
I also live in Travis County, as my neighbors will probably very quickly point out.
But it's not legal in Austin.
Becca, help
so
me
they
with
can't.
this. I don't understand what he's saying.
People are popping fireworks in Austin regardless of whether it's legal or not.
Yeah.
What I'm complaining about is the fact that now fireworks stands are open and selling fireworks, so my asshole neighbors can buy fireworks and
more.
pop them
They don't have to
on
go
Memorial Day.
Super far south to get the fireworks.
Well,
got it.
Becca is also from South Texas, like you.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys must be happy. This is like fireworks are a downgrade from people just firing guns into the air.
Well,
right?
that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have neighbors who shoot guns. I
In
can hear-
Austin?
Yeah. Yeah. I live on an interesting street.
They go out like yip 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 like
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Like cowboys. Like,
Yeah.
shoop, shoop, yow. Yeehaw.
Yosemite Sam. I hope they're blanks, but they're probably not.
Like, do you just hear bullets like?
you just hear like gunshots on New Year's Eve, just cat 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 cat.
Those are weird guns.
Yeah.
It's a strange
Sounds like
silencer.
that.
Oh,
That's because they're sideways.
Yeah.
Listen, whenever I see people doing that in videos, I'm like, you fucking idiots. You're firing bullets into the air. Goddamn morons. If I was at one of those parties, I would totally do it. I would absolutely have a gun in each hand, just firing away. That would be so much fun to do that. Just once in my life. I
Go to
would
a
do that.
range. Go to a
If I
firing
went to
range and
a-
shoot a
If I went
gun.
to a range and I went to the range and started firing in the air, that would get shot
Yeah.
in 2 seconds.
The moral of the story is you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
why
do
should
know.
other people get to do it and I don't? That's the question.
There's a big
Why
PSA.
should other people get to murder and I don't?
Why?
I mean, what's the logic here?
I know. Just one murder. No big deal.
Everyone else
Some
gets
people
to
have like
murder.
8.
Fucking, who's got the high score? Is it still like Ted Bundy?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Is it
Wait.
weird? Are serial killers a uniquely American thing?
No.
Well, I guess Jack,
Jack
the
the
Ripper.
Ripper.
It's a pretty much a white male thing though.
Huh.
Like white dudes.
No.
White
No,
people.
Yeah.
there's like famous females that have
Just
committed
one.
murder.
But mostly
Eileen
white,
Woodruff.
mostly white people, and way mostly dudes. It skews.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it? The Night Stalker. He was Hispanic. I think. Like Richard
Calling out Gus.
Ramirez? Rodriguez? What was his name?
Hmm.
You talking about Son of Sam?
Maybe it's Son of Sam.
That's David Berkowitz.
No, okay, not Son. I think it's called the Night Stalker. He was like,
The Night Stalker
New
was
York?
Boston, right? Or like the
I thought it
Northeast
was,
somewhere?
was
That's
that
the
the guy
Boston
who killed all
Strangler.
the nurses? Fuck, they all blend together. I went down a
like-
wiki hole one day and
Is-
there's no
is-
delineation.
If you're a serial killer, do you get to pick your name? Like, is it like
No, I
a
don't think
superhero
you
thing,
do.
or does like the media give that to you? Richard Ramirez.
I also like that it's connected to the city that you live in. So, like, what if you're like the Kalamazoo Strangler? It's like, fuck! Could have been cooler.
The tri-state tickler.
It was the Los Angeles area, and later San Francisco. Oh, there we are.
Oh my god!
I just thought of a great way to
Yeah,
combat
Wow,
serial
big
killing.
difference there.
We're number one.
Oh, Canada. 4.
America.
That's
Here's how you
surprising.
combat serial killing. Just get the worst, most uncreative person in the department to name the person. So instead of like Zodiac Killer or the Boston Strangler, it's like somebody just names him Flower Guy. And then the serial killer's like, well, then now it's not even worth it.
Cutie Pie 23.
They're like AOL screen names.
Or it'd be like when you get your Xbox Live, the auto-generated name tags.
Yeah.
Kerfuffled Petunia. Like, oh.
Lowercase x
Like a
killer
CAPTCHA.
69.
It's so stupid.
That's what they should totally do. They should do that with terrorists too. Just come up with nicknames for everybody.
Yeah, like instead, that way they just don't sound nearly as cool. It's all marketing, right? It's all about how you
It's
present
what it
yourself.
is. It's all fear marketing. That's what it is.
When was the last time we had a serial killer, though? I guess like that. The last time we had like some.
BTK?
Well, I was gonna say the last time we had like a big, like publicized ordeal was the dude that did the Facebook thing. Like, I think that was the guy that like everybody was going nuts with that guy.
Well, the guy went out and
What?
shot one person.
I
on
know, but
Facebook.
still, it was just like it got the hype of like a killer.
I think the last one I can remember, Jeffrey Dahmer was pretty high profile because he was so nuts. But then there was remember the guy who had the young like apprentice and they were sniping people in the DC
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the
area?
I
DC
was thinking about
sniper,
that.
yeah.
That was crazy. And then when they finally got caught, their setup was so strange. They were in a car where they'd hollowed out the inside of the car and they were sniping from the trunk.
Yeah.
So they were
The Beltway sniper, that's what they call it.
Beltway
right?
sniper.
Yeah.
They were like shooting people like at gas
The
stations
gas
a lot.
stations, yeah.
Yeah. To the point where they were telling people
Someone hates these cans.
on the news. Yeah,
Nice
they were
reference.
telling me it's been a few years. He can make that joke. They were telling people to zigzag as they walked.
Oh my God.
Out in public,
Just like
in-
normal?
in the DC area.
Wow.
Yeah, which I guess works against
I just
snipers
would
and
not
alligators.
go outside, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, no shit. Or wear a suit of armor.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you had anything like that ever, where you've been like either an outbreak of something or serial killers very specific, but something that kept you indoors besides weather?
Wild animals in South Texas?
When I was pregnant, I was just generally freaked out about mosquitoes.
Oh no, good call.
Yeah.
It's a good call.
Yeah.
My mom and I were like at the Oklahoma City, the building that got bombed. We were there like a couple days before. Not really related, but it's still something that's like kind of spooky, and like we were spooked for like months after.
Oh, you reminded me. I was in Boston for the Boston Marathon bombing.
Oh, shit.
I was
Were you?
there, and it was that night. Like the whole city was shut down, and we took that opportunity to go to a restaurant that always had a really long wait. And we just walked right in.
Well, man, make
was just
lemonade out of lemons, I
It
guess.
was a ghost town. Like there were just cops on the street.
So
It was pretty spooky.
while we're talking about that, we kind of have to talk about what happened this week in Manchester with the Ariana Grande concert.
And we're pre-taping this, so this was actually still very recent.
This is very
We're
recent
still-
for us, but
yeah.
by the time you see this, it'll be a week old at that point. The first people to see this podcast, and I have a pretty measured response when it comes to those things. I mean, it incredibly terrible tragedy. I don't know who would walk into a stadium and set off a device like that to kill kids. It's just unfathomable to me. It was really interesting thinking about the Boston Marathon, how many things happen when an event like that takes place. It's almost like a routine that the public falls into. There's this shock. Then there was a guy who made a terrible joke on Twitter, and everybody went after that guy for making a joke on Twitter about an Ariana Grande concert. And then there was another thing right after that where internet detectives had figured out who set off the bomb by a guy who had been tweeting Ariana Grande, and everybody went after this guy and said that were telling him that he's the killer. He was just obviously like very delusional fan and thought he was going to get to meet Ariana Grande on May 22nd. And he kept saying the date May 22nd. It's like, look, all his posts say May 22nd. It's like, well, that's the date of the concert when he's going to meet his big hero. So he's saying the date over and over again. Yeah, he's saying weird, creepy stuff about them being best friends and all that, but you could find that probably at any concert for any popular person on any date. But the internet found it. They were in this frenzy, and they all went after this guy. And it's just like, it's just no one thinks straight in those moments, and you gotta keep a level head, especially if you're not there. I mean, the people who are there dealing with this horrific event. The rest of us have the ability to kind of level out and help those people who are in danger, but instead we all just fall into this whirlwind every single time.
I hadn't seen the witch hunt again this time.
Well,
I missed that one.
I can tell you the name of the guy, Matt C. Mafia. You can look him up.
I was on Reddit the other day, and they still claim that they like caught the Boston bomber.
They didn't though.
sorry,
Didn't they identify the wrong person?
I don't
It
know,
did initially. It was like
Yeah, they identified the wrong person.
Yeah.
but they were like toting that. They're like, yeah, we got the bomber. It's like, did you guys though? Like it was
Yeah.
weird.
It's that weird mob mentality and added with anonymity.
Yeah.
And with the fact that people want to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They wanna
there's
do
so much
something.
that desire to have that "I told you so" moment, or "I called it," that people just throw out a billion wild accusations just to have that one. Maybe he's right.
Yep.
Let's see if his account's still there.
I think what Reddit did was they found the picture of them dropping off the backpack.
A bag. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yep.
But I mean, I think that's going to happen eventually. People are, if you have enough eyeballs. I mean, they even did that with like when the Malaysia 370 flight disappeared. A lot of satellite imagery was outsourced to people, so they could like click through and look for anything unusual. I don't know if you remember that. There was like a website where you could look at images of the ocean and see if circle if there was anything in the water. But they never found that.
The Blaine Gibson guy, the adventurer that looks like horrifying, that has my name, still finding fucking pieces, and I always get tweeted whenever that asshole finds something. It's like, stop! I don't care about this kind of.
Oh yeah, I forgot that guy has the same name as you.
Yeah, and then people will tweet me, and you're like, "You're a fraud. You're planting these pieces." Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm in Austin, Texas.
Wait, but you're not even Blaine Gibson on Twitter, right? Like you have a different username. I guess,
Big-
yeah,
If you
Big
type in
Gibbles?
Blaine Gibson on Twitter, I think you'd find mine.
But
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Look, this guy was tweeting stuff like leading up to May 22nd. Then he's tweeting stuff like Ariana, I'm in the crowd. He clearly can't spell. Talks about how he's in love with Ariana. They're going to be together. Then in the middle of the concert, he's like, "It's over for good. You're slag. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to find someone my own age. Goodbye forever. I've left." I'm gonna get with someone my own age. But he was posting even after the concert and everything, and people just like they got freaked out about it. But Becca was, I think, the first convention she was ever at. I mean, we've dealt with stuff like that, where sometimes people show up with really high expectations, and we're not Ariana Grande, who's on a huge stage with lights and looks like this goddess. I can see how people get like wrapped up in that. We had a guy. It was in Florida, I remember.
Of course it was.
He came up to us, and we had it was a convention. It was the first day. Came up to us. We talked to him for like 10 or 15 minutes. Really great conversation. Really nice guy. And then he said, want to go to a movie with you guys tonight. Want to take you guys out to a movie. And I was like, well, we just got in town, and we're working the whole day at the convention. Super nice of you to offer that. Yeah, but no, we can't go. We can't go to a movie tonight. But thanks for the offer. That was really cool of you. We came back the next day. And he was like, are we going to go to that movie tonight? Let's go to the movie tonight. And I was like, no, we're just like, we spend, 10, 12 hours in the booth every day. We usually just go back to the hotel and crash. I go, that's cool. I forget what the movie was. Some big movie that came out.
I remember. It was the one where his car was on fire. Nic Cage. What was that movie?
Car's on fire.
Hell, Ghost Rider?
Yeah, that.
That's a Motor Rider.
His car was on fire. I want to see the fan art of that Nic Cage car on fire movie.
Nic Cage in Car on Fire.
I thought it was Ghost Rider, but that was also Ghost Writer. This is a TV show.
And you got the Car on Fire from neither of those. I see how that worked out. It's like when they had a bad Ghost Rider, he wrote Ghost Rider as a car on fire. But the second day he came back and he was like, yeah, let's go see Ghost Rider. And honestly, now from memory, it was probably like, I don't want to go see Ghost Rider.
We were like,
but it was, being nice and saying, no, can't do it. And he's like, I'm just like such a huge fan. And he had posted, I remember he had posted on the site that he had been to the booth and posted the picture with us and everything. And then the second day, it was like, he came back and he was like, I really want to go take you guys to this movie. And I said, no. And then he came back the third day, if memory serves, and the movie thing again. It was like his conversation with us.
I think day 3, he came back with a resume as well. Like at that point, it pivoted to give me a job.
But the thing about the thing was when I eventually said, look, we keep talking about this. I just want you to understand we're not going to go out and see a movie. We're just not going to go do that. So I just want you to understand that. And then he hated us.
Yeah, I remember
he
we had
wrote
to
this
eventually
long diatribe and quit the site. How we were assholes and that we were out of touch or whatever or something, and we treated him like shit. And now he's gone. It was just like he just came in with wild expectations, which is what I think this person. And I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? It's like he had this built up thing of what the experience was going to be like. It didn't match it. And he had an extreme reaction to it. Probably a younger person. That happens. I get it. And that's what this kid was going through, I think. And he gets fucking attacked by the internet for killing children. It's just like, calm down. Yeah, I mean, really, calm down. Just you stay level-headed, especially if you have some distance from the event. Stay level-headed and figure out what you can do to help besides playing detective or busting out your pitchfork or something like that.
Right.
Just figure out. Donating blood is always a good thing. Even if it's not going to make its way to Manchester, it'll be good for your area.
Although I will say, Brandon had a tweet about donating blood the other day that unsettled me a bit. He called for people to donate blood. Then he reminded people that if around South by Southwest time, if they had received any B positive blood, that they might have a bit of Brandon in them.
That's really good.
And I was like,
I want that.
I don't want Brandon in me.
Who wants that?
I was like, why did you frame it in such a weird, bizarre, creepy way?
Yeah.
What is that? If you go donate blood, they're not going to give you someone else's blood to like top you back off, Gus. You can go donate blood and not worry about that.
Yeah, but it's like it just like now that's a mental image in my head. Is this Brandon being in someone else?
Can you donate blood? You guys have tattoos.
Yeah, there's just a grace period. I think it's like a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, but
I've never given blood.
What?
I've tried.
Oh,
Patrick can't. Why not?
Because I'm gay.
oh,
So gay people can't donate blood.
Nope.
Is it
Ever?
gay men or just anyone gay?
They ask you if you've ever had sex with the same gender, and if you say yes, then they disqualify you.
Why don't
They
they
are gonna
ask straight
run out
people
of
if they've ever
people
had butt
to
sex?
give blood,
I mean, like,
man.
that's weird. That seems.
Yeah, it's just like it's weird. I think that was like some rule they passed in the early '80s, and it's still like on the record.
the anti-coup.
Yeah, that definitely needs to be
What are the-
revisited.
What are the other things? Like sexually transmitted disease? Is
yeah.
that one on there?
And I think if
I-
you've traveled out of the country, like within
Yeah.
a certain grace period as
Like-
well.
Rafaela was saying she couldn't
And you
because
just go-
she lived in England as a kid during some like epidemic.
Oh, it might have been during CJD or something like that.
I think it was during Mad Cow, actually. Yeah.
CJD.
Oh. Thank you, Gus.
So, have you ever had a tattoo recently? Have you had
piercing.
same-sex intercourse? Have you been outside the country? They could shorten the whole questionnaire by just saying, Are you boring as fuck?
Yeah.
Yes, you can donate blood. You're fine. If you're just living a boring life, yeah, come on in and donate all your
Okay,
fucking
what
blood.
conditions make you ineligible to be a donor? Tested positive for hepatitis B or hepatitis C, lived with or had sexual contact in the past 12 months with anyone, Hep B or Hep C, had a tattoo in the past 12 months, or received a blood transfusion in the past 12 months.
That's hypocritical. That's a little hypocritical.
Positive test for AIDS virus, or a man who's had sex with another man in the past 12 months.
Specifically men?
Yes, that's exactly what it says.
Super weird.
Ever used intravenous illegal drugs even once? Have ever used injectable drugs, including anabolic steroids, unless prescribed by a physician?
Sorry, Blaine.
Engaged in prostitution since
Steroids joke.
1977. Since 1977? That's a
way
weird
with that
cutoff.
It's HIV again.
Oh, weird. Have lived in or visited the UK for 3 months or more cumulatively between 1980 and 1996.
The UK?
This is Mad Cow.
Yeah, but
Have spent 5 years or more in Europe, including the UK, cumulatively from 1980 to the present. Have traveled in the past year or lived in the past 3 years in an area where malaria is endemic.
Zika hasn't made that list yet.
Nope.
But it's
And then you also have to weigh a certain amount, right?
Oh, I assume so. Yeah, that's like up in the general guidelines. You have to weigh at least 110 pounds, be at least 16 years old.
Yeah. Like for a long time, that excluded me. Can't say that anymore. But then it was the tattoos and piercings, and like every time I tried, I got.
Why don't
turned
you like
away.
donating blood, Becca?
I would.
was finding an
I'm
excuse.
O positive. I'm like got that good blood.
I'm B positive, so it's like
Yeah.
Oh,
it'd be
negative.
really
Is
rare.
that why you freaked out about
Again,
that?
You're
yeah, and I'm also
negative?
the same blood type as Brandon, which is why I was freaked out by his tweet even more.
Do you know your
Explains
blood
so
type,
much.
Bernie?
Yeah, I was sitting here. No, I don't think I do.
I feel like most people don't.
I think I'm O negative.
That explains a lot.
She's copying me.
Oh, is that what you're O negative?
Yeah, you want
Is
to share
that
blood?
really Blair?
Maybe you put it in my head.
Blair. Rare? O negative
I thought
blood?
O negative. I thought the O's are pretty common.
Yeah, I think the O
Right,
is
but
common.
the negative. I don't know.
Blaine, you're a fitness guy. Have you ever heard about matching your diet to your blood type? You ever heard
No.
that?
Is that a thing?
That's a thing.
Have you ever heard about matching your alcohol consumption to your blood type?
I have not, Gus.
Because let me tell you, this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Smirnoff.
And the letter O.
Little segment we call the Smirnoff Sidebar.
I just want to point out there's an O in Smirnoff and in vodka.
There is.
So
And this week we know we've been doing this every now and then. We do a recurring segment where
Texas, everybody. Hey, Texas.
Hey,
How you doing?
makes a special drink for the 4 core members of the Rooster Teeth podcast. And this week it's Bernie's turn.
Yes, it is.
To have
It
a
is
drink.
my drink
We
this
have
week.
the Burntini, which you see the recipe right there. It's 1.5 ounces of Smirnoff number 21 vodka, 1 ounce of dry vermouth, 1 cup of ice cubes, and 3 olives.
Clear ice cubes.
And you pour the Smirnoff number 21 of vermouth into the mixing glass, add ice, and stir to chill, straight into a martini glass, and garnish with olives. We were talking about this before the podcast, and Texas was saying that it is generally you receive martinis with 1 or 3 olives.
Considered bad luck if you have. I was told this a long time ago that it was considered bad luck if you have more than 1 olive, or like if it's 1 or 3. It's just 1
So
or 3.
even numbers of olives are bad.
Pretty much.
Then you can't donate blood.
So it's been great. We did my drink first, and then we did Barbara's last time. So
She had the Caribou Princess or whatever. What was that? It was very floofy.
Barbara's punch.
Barbara's Punch.
That,
Right.
that was my idea, my name.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I came up with it.
Good call.
So it's been great having them because we know that Smirnoff you can get it just about anywhere when you travel, and I know that we all are big fans of Smirnoff. So it's great to have them sponsoring an episode of the podcast. They have great quality at a reasonable price. And again, like we've mentioned before, Smirnoff did invent the Moscow Mule. So hopefully for the next time when we do Gavin's drink, hopefully we'll be able to get to a Moscow Mule at some point. So if y'all want to tweet at us, let us know any other ideas that we can try if we can't get the Moscow Mule for Gavin.
live
Use
action will ever
hashtag
let him
RT
go.
Podcast. And if you're over 21, we highly recommend you check out Smirnoff Vodka. Again, if you're over 21, check it out and let us know what you think with hashtag RT Podcast. Do we have
Thank you.
another hashtag
Look
for
at this
Smirnoff? Or is it
classy
just
drink.
RT Podcast?
They invented
Lovely.
the Moscow Mule.
Thank you, Texas.
I love the Moscow Mule.
It's a good
Yeah,
drink.
it's a great
The
drink.
little copper cup.
Maybe
A little fancy.
the Burntini will replace it as like one of your all-time favorite drinks.
Probably not.
I feel like
The
with
Moscow Mule's so
Bertini, we
good.
maybe should have put like a dash of jalapeno juice in it.
Ooh.
In hindsight.
Can we
in
do
hindsight.
that? Is it too late?
It might be too late.
Also,
Do
I'm
you
not
happen
gonna-
to have any jalapeno juice on you, Blaine?
I don't mean to be that guy, but the bar's over here, but the sign for the bar's over there. Is anybody else bothered by
That's a
that?
permanent bar there. This
Yeah.
is like 6th Street. There's multiple bars.
Those are
okay.
pop up.
Okay, sorry.
You can
food
have
trailer.
alcohol away from a sign that says bar.
This is true.
So Blaine seems very
I like the
confused.
idea of Blaine actually going to a bar, and he gets a beer and has to drink it next to the sign that has the name of the beer on it. Like he can't
It's like-
be in a different part of the bar.
This bar's too crowded. We need another bar sign. We can spread the crowds apart. But yeah, you were talking about people wanting to match diet to blood type.
Yeah.
And I've heard that before. And I've heard like
I believe
people
it's called the blood type diet.
people try to explain it as like an evolutionary thing where you back thousands of years ago, you have this blood type because your ancestors or whatever
from a
used
certain
to
region.
eat certain diets and certain types of food. So these foods agree with you better than other types of food.
That is correct.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever researched
I
it?
don't even know. I'm actually looking
you?
here.
I'm curious what
Trying to figure out.
our diet would be.
So you want a dirtier one, right? Don't you want a dirtier one?
Yeah.
Yeah, here, take this one.
You sure?
Yeah.
You already drink out of it though. Great.
I didn't.
I'm kidding.
I was waiting. I'm a gentleman. I'm waiting.
Thank you.
So dirtier.
I love it.
For people who are familiar with martinis, just means more
dirty.
olive juice poured into
Olive
it.
juice.
So I'm looking blood type diet. What are you, Bernie? Oh,
Yes, I think so.
He said, "Oh,
negative.
I'm embarrassed because I feel like now I haven't given blood in a few years at least.
I have it written down.
I'm trying to think of the last time I gave blood.
I have a folder in my
We got
iPhone
jalapeno
where
juice?
it has all this stuff listed.
No way.
Look at that.
Brought it.
so you're gonna get jalapeno juice, Bernie?
Patrick, I would let you donate blood.
Oh,
Just so you know. If I was in charge, I would let you donate blood.
Seems like that's a dumb thing.
ridiculous
That's a
to
dumb
me.
thing. I'm trying to find.
You just Westworld it and take it straight from his body into yours.
Okay, type
What?
O.
Did I miss that episode of Westworld?
You must have.
Type O blood. A high protein diet heavy on lean meat, poultry, fish, and vegetables, and light on grains, beans, and dairy.
That makes sense.
That's like what I eat already. I
Wait,
wonder
that's for
O.
O negative or just O
That's just O.
blanket O?
Wow.
Type B, which is for me, avoid corn, wheat, buckwheat, lentils, tomatoes, peanuts, and sesame seeds. Chicken is also problematic. He encourages eating green vegetables, eggs, certain meat, and low-fat dairy. That sounds awful.
Low fat dairy? Low fat dairy and no chicken.
Chicken is
And like
problematic.
chicken's the most just like innocuous
Chicken's everywhere.
meat. It's harmless.
Yeah.
Bernie, he's gonna swap yours out
Why?
because you want the jalapenos.
Yeah.
I'll take his existing one if you want.
It's coming down. Here it comes.
Pass it down.
I almost
So
fumbled that
jalapeno
last one.
instead
I'm
of
so
olive
nervous
juice?
that I'm gonna spill this.
Give it a shot. That sounds good.
Anybody else pick up Logan on Blu-ray? It just came out this
I was
week.
gonna buy it last night, but I realized I had too many Blu-rays in my house.
I bought it, and it comes with. I didn't know it was going to do this. It comes with the noir version of the film as
the
well.
black and white?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I guess like they have a version of the film where it's just all in black and white.
I've been following Kojima on Twitter, and that dude loves superhero movies and
loves
Norman
movies.
Reedus.
And La La Land. Yeah, he's always tweeting about movies and film.
He loves movies.
He was like he goes crazy over the black and white Logan and Mad Max. Which I don't know if I would want to watch Mad Max. I think the biggest thing I love about that movie is the color. So the lack thereof would kind of
That movie, the new one, you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, that made
rough.
me wish that like colorists were an Academy Award category for the main show because Mad Max's color was incredible.
Well, like they, like Vanity or EW or whoever posted pictures like way before the movie was out and before they had a trailer of what's his face on the bike and stuff, and it looked like everything was. It looked like a DC movie, like a Batman. Like everything was desaturated and like gray and gross. And I was like, oh, this doesn't look like it's gonna be a good movie. And it completely flipped, and now it's like this beautiful orange and blue movie, and that's what made it for me.
It's like
the nighttime stuff in Mad Max, incredible how blue it is.
Yeah,
It's
well,
really incredible.
it's totally day for night because you have like moon shadows.
Yeah, but it looks great. It
Yeah.
looks so great.
like that goes back to what we talked about before, like when Mad Max first came out, how Tom Hardy publicly apologized
Yeah.
for
how
the way
he treated George Miller.
how he treated George Miller about that movie. He said that when they were filming it, that he just didn't see the vision and understand what George Miller was trying to do, and that when the film was done, he was just blown away by how good it was.
I think I said at the time that that's code for I was a gigantic asshole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's it, yeah.
I'm sure there were.
Everyone?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Do clink glasses with martinis.
We'll do it pantomime. Clink, clink, clink.
Cheers.
Little classy drink. I have a little jalapeno juice in mine. Let's see how this goes.
Ooh, that's good.
That's delightful. Do you want to try this?
Bernie burns. Yeah, I'll try.
I didn't have a chance to watch all of Logan Noir, because I just got it last night.
Have you been to the UK
But
in
I
the last
watched,
12 months?
I've never been to the
just
UK.
kidding.
I just watched that opening fight sequence at the limo.
Oh, with the yeah.
Yeah, and that, even like I was like, wow, that looks really good. I don't know.
pretty good.
They must have
That's a
had
nice little
black and
thing.
white in mind when they filmed it, because you have to light it a very specific way in order for black and white to look presentable or to look good.
Do you know that? Or are
What?
you just saying that?
I've seen it.
Okay.
Yeah. Why?
But you're saying you're talking about cinematography that you have to light it in a certain way to shoot in black and white. You're saying
Yeah.
that with a high degree of confidence. Do you know that for fact?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm stating fact.
Okay.
I don't know if you know. I work in a film. I work in the film industry.
Did you have a blue light and a white light?
It's
Filmmaker.
one of my favorite first conversations with you. That's when we were filming the Switch parody.
One of my very first videos I ever made.
But I mean, you can manipulate. I mean, I know that lighting's different than manipulating the color in post, but like raw, I've gotten blown away by how red cameras you can manipulate the raw. You can change the ISO and do all sorts of different stuff in post, like after the fact, after you shot it, which is something that you would never be able to do with an old film camera.
There's so much stuff like that feels like magic in a way. Like I've been doing stuff with tilt shift where I can just shift focus.
Dude, please get into more tilt shift.
Do you like that?
That LA construction thing, I couldn't stop watching that. It's the most relaxing thing ever to watch, like little things move around.
That was one of my favorite scenes in The Social Network was the
Rowing.
tilt shift, rowing scene.
Yep. It's I love that look. And I just think it's I think it's like a cool metaphor for a vlog with a lot of travel in it, like just making the world look smaller. That's kind of the whole point of it, right?
So you got a specific lens for that then, I'm assuming.
I did, but I also do a little bit of work in post as well to really kind of sell it. Like the airplane shot of the planes coming in and out and like getting
Awesome person.
Yeah. I think that was actually Chicago. I'm not sure where it was, but that was a shot I actually used before. And the shot I used in the vlog before, I didn't do anything in post. I just used the lens, and it was good. But the lens or the post stuff really like amps it up a lot. You know, if you get that depth of field in a certain place and get it just right, it's amazing. And in post, you can kind of figure out where that is better than you can like in a time lapse.
So how do you do that? Isn't it two lenses and they're off just slightly so
You
that
should
it
watch
focuses on one?
this week's vlog.
Okay.
Because I pull the lens out and show how it works and everything.
Cool.
Yeah, I go through the whole thing on it.
I need to watch that.
Yeah,
Does
it's a
Instagram
motivational
still have
vlog.
tilt shift? I feel like they got rid of.
Yeah,
tilt
they have a
shift.
filter where you can mess with tilt shift.
It's a filter, or you're saying like it's a setting?
It's
'Cause it used to be
setting.
really prominent, and now I feel like they've nested it away because people were abusing it all the time.
Oh, I'm gonna take a picture.
Abusing it. How do you abuse it?
It was just like using it to create fake depth of field, and it just looked really terrible.
No.
I'll tell you what really blows people away is the iPhone 7 Plus has
Dude.
the portrait mode.
Boom.
It's
Love it.
pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I don't like the Plus because they're so big. But that's the one thing I was most
you have
curious
a
about.
Plus?
No, I've got the normal.
I'm all about that plus.
Tilt shift.
Me too.
I'm gonna make you a small person. That didn't really work. I
Yeah.
guess on a human subject, but
I would-
yeah.
So I was giving
You look
I was
so-
giving Yvonne some shit the other day at the management meeting.
Yvonne?
Yeah.
That's dangerous business.
I don't know if you remember this, but years ago when we were still down south at the Ralph Ablanedo office,
I don't remember anything.
I kept bugging Yvonne. I kept telling her we need to accept Bitcoin in the store. That we should be accepting Bitcoin for
You would.
for merchandise.
Oh man.
And then on Monday I saw a headline that $100 of Bitcoin in 2010 is now worth $72.9 million.
what?
Doesn't
It was 2010 when I was telling her we should be accepting Bitcoin. I was like,
Well, why
would that
don't
have
you?
changed
Did you buy
anything?
a bunch of Bitcoin?
no.
Yeah.
That's what.
nobody did.
Wait,
Wasn't Joel shitting all over it when it
Well, yeah, he was. But it's also, I think, on a podcast saying, well, just go buy Bitcoin right now.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to say the same thing I said then, which is like, okay, buy it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here it is. Buy it now.
Buy it.
And in 5 years, you'll be saying the same thing.
Do you think you think it'll just continue to increase?
I think
in
it's,
value?
I think it's in a
I can't-
bubble.
I can't-
It's
I
absolutely
can't-
in a bubble.
Yeah.
insane.
Come back and hear yourself
No.
when there's Bitcoin billionaires everywhere. One of my favorite stories ever from online, and this is probably the story that started the conversation on the podcast all those years ago, was a guy who had a hard drive and he bought like $50 worth of Bitcoins or something like that. I forget what it was. I know he lived in the UK. And then 6 years later, or whatever, those Bitcoins were worth about $4 million, whatever he bought. And the computer was gone. So he did research. He needed the hard drive back. So he did research on the landfill for his area, and he bought sections of the landfill that were used during the time that he would have thrown away the computer, and he was excavating trying to find his old computer.
Did he ever find it?
I don't believe he
No,
ever did.
so
That's-
he
Wait.
he used 10,000 bitcoins to buy a pizza in 2010, which were now worth $20 million.
That's not the same guy though.
Oh, it's not the same guy?
No, that's a famous thing of a kid who bought pizza. I think actually the first thing ever bought with Bitcoin, the first real world item, was a pizza.
What pizza maker accepts Bitcoin?
I think he paid. It was like almost like a Postmates thing, or what's
okay.
it was
Papa
favor.
John's.
Yeah, where he
Guy's
paid
loaded.
someone in Bitcoins to buy him a pizza. Because he didn't have any money, but he had Bitcoin. So he said, "You call my local pizza place,
Bevo bucks?
order me a pizza and pay for it, and then I'll transfer the Bitcoin to you." And that pizza was worth like $3 million or something.
Did you guys ever use Bevo Bucks?
No, I never lived on campus.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is
Bernie?
that like your UT currency or something?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a currency on UT called
And
Bevo
actually,
Bucks.
that's after my time. We didn't have that shit.
Oh, really?
No, we stole it from the Aggies.
What do they have?
Aggie bucks.
Creative.
Ours
Yeah.
is at least alliterative.
Yeah.
I like are you making fun of them for creative? Ours is Bevo bucks.
This is true.
Yeah, sure, they invented it, but we made the letters the same.
For anybody that doesn't know, Bevo Bucks is like it's basically
$7.5 million that was thrown away. That was the landfill thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
well, yeah. If your parents don't want to give you money for food, but they don't want you to spend it on alcohol, they give you Bevo Bucks. But there's places that'll accept Bevo Bucks, and you can buy beer with them. I think though.
Yeah.
So
Can you
there's-
buy beer on campus, like at the Jester store?
Oh yeah, there was a.
Is that what the
for
reason
sure.
is? The reasoning is so your parents don't think you're buying alcohol?
Or
It wasn't so much
drugs or
alcohol.
something, yeah.
Tattoos in my case, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there's a few places on campus. I still live by campus, and they have like a couple of alcohol stores amongst the apartments. The place has changed.
So
West
what's
Campus.
Bitcoin worth today? Like $2,500
I don't remember. Let me look.
per Bitcoin?
Bitcoin.
This article that I'm reading from late 2013 was basically 3 years ago. Bitcoin here is worth about $1,100. But everyone's going back to like 2008 and saying what it was there. They're like looking back. But like last time we had a conversation about Bitcoin 3 or 4 years ago, if we'd have bought it, we could have doubled our money.
Yeah.
Which is cool for 3 or 4 years, but it's not like I'm not going to stay awake at night thinking, oh my God, I missed out on the chance of a lifetime.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can see, I'll send you the chart here. Like the chart, it kind of spikes in 2014, then of course it goes down, and then now like it's on.
But everyone
it's
looks
on the way
past the
back up.
spike, right?
Right.
Because you could have potentially lost a shitload of money getting involved with Bitcoin in 2014. You know, you might be getting back to break even.
Austin or Gus? What's the Austin cafe that has a Bitcoin machine in it?
Dominican Joe's used to have a Bitcoin ATM.
That's weird.
Benu has one.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who?
okay.
Binu?
Binu.
All right, I'm going to sound really ignorant right now.
Let's do it.
Bitcoin aren't stored in the cloud.
Bitcoin aren't stored in the.
I don't know why people like this currency because there's a lot of things about it, from what I understand, that are weird. It's locked with a key, but then the part of that with the key is then you can see that Bitcoin every transaction it was used for. Isn't that correct? It's like it doesn't have a trail of everything.
I'm not sure. I've never used it.
Oh, yeah, I should. I'm talking out of my ass. I think just from memory here.
On the podcast? No.
No.
We never do that here.
That
I wanna-
seems incriminating considering Bitcoin is usually used for things you don't
Right,
want
like
to know.
Silk Road and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Someone on a. Oh, we're not on live. So someone yell at me 2 days from now of why I'm wrong. Bitcoin
I'm sure
trail.
Patrick's looking it up.
I love that even though we announced that this is pre-recorded, people are still going to be tweeting us while it's happening.
That's
I'll be
like if you're
engaging.
watching along, then you can keep up.
I'm going to watch with my parents.
Every time though, like I'll get a tweet and be like, "You were wrong about Bitcoin. What are they talking about?" No, yeah.
Oh man, last night someone made a reference, a red versus blue reference from the current season to me, and it totally went over my head. I was like, I felt like a fucking idiot.
Was it something that you had said too?
No, but it was a scene I was in. It wasn't my line, but he was referencing a scene that I participated in. I was like, oh right,
I made
damn it.
I made a John
Because
Cena.
just for reference, I recorded that line forever ago.
Oh, okay. I made a John Cena joke on Twitter, and people just like that guy's a mean machine. So then people started tweeting me about it, and someone was like, "I think your girlfriend needs an attitude adjustment." It's like, "What the fuck is this? Like, fuck this guy." Apparently, that's like his thing.
Oh.
It's attitude adjustment. Like I don't know. It's like a John Cena. I don't know. It's just a John Cena joke. But I was like really pissed off, and then everybody started tweeting that same thing. So I was like, oh, I guess it's like something
It's a
that
reference.
John Cena does.
Yeah, you're just not getting it. Yeah, I was. The guy I was talking about had replied to a poll I made because I was talking to Brandon yesterday, and I realized Brandon did not know what the word gab meant.
Like to
gift of the
talk?
gab, right? And I was like, that's really weird. I'm sure most people know what that is. So I started running a Twitter poll. I was shocked at how many people did not
I was
know
shocked by those results.
what
as
that
well.
word is. Let me see if I can find the most up to date. As of right now, it is at 56% know the word. 44% do not know that word.
I bet you 56% is wrong too. I bet it's only like 30%. I bet those people like Google it and like.
Did you provide any context?
No, I said, are you familiar with the word gab, as in gift of gab?
Oh, then yeah, like that's plenty of
I'm
context.
shocked at how many people said they do not know that word. At almost 19,000 votes so far.
That's super weird.
That seems like, I mean, that's like an old like gams and
Yeah, of course, yeah. you don't hear that
old
like, every
50s
day.
word. Those are
Yeah,
great.
and then someone replied, speaking of that, someone replied to the tweet, was like, oh, I guess I'm just too old. I don't know this word. And then someone else replied, like, no, you must be just too young.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a new word at all.
Yeah, there is this like kind of weird place that we exist in now, and this was probably happened for generations where it's like, you know, you got like, I don't even know millennial words, but you know what I'm talking about though, right? Like turnt and all that bullshit.
Thought.
Lit.
There you go. We can just list
I
them all.
believe dab is in there somewhere.
It's like I don't know those words, but I also don't know like old words. So just kind of somewhere in the middle.
Fam.
You just know your words.
Just
Fam.
Stop, Bernie. Stop.
I got a million.
How do you do?
I'm hip. I know everything. It always disappoints my oldest kid, like that I know things. It's very disappointing to him, you know.
It would be like your father saying, cool things, talking about how tubular stuff was, or
Yeah, well, it's like whenever we get in a discussion and like with her mom, whenever we're talking about stuff and like behavior or something, I can always say, oh well, if we want to steer JD away from this, I can just start doing it.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, I'm not gonna do that.
we can ghost ride the whip.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, let me read this thing here. I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club is the smarter choice when it comes to shaving. Get a great shave at a great price, conveniently delivered right to your door. It's an awesome life hack and no-brainer choice. You no longer have to schlep to the store to buy a cheap disposable razor that gives you a cheap shave. Schlep, that's an old word too. Or spend a fortune on razors with gimmicky shaving tech that you don't need. When I use Dollar Shave Club Executive Razor with Dr. Carver Shave Butter, the blade gently glides, giving such a smooth shave. Don't have to worry about nicks or cuts. Just put the shave butter on, and it's smooth sailing. Dr. Carver Shave Butter is transparent for a more precise shave, helps prevent ingrown hairs, and fights razor bumps. You too can make the smarter choice by joining Dollar Shave Club. For a limited time, new members get their first month of the Executive Razor with a tube of their Dr. Carver Shave Butter for only $5 with free shipping. After that, razors are just a few bucks a month. There's a $15 value for only $5. In your first month box, you get an awesome, weighty handle, a full cassette of 4 cartridges, and a tube of their shave butter. No hidden fees, no commitments. Cancel anytime you like. You get this offer exclusively at dollarshaveclub.com/roosterteeth. That's dollarshaveclub.com/roosterteeth. Thanks, Dollar Shave Club, for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. So, speaking of...
According to Urban Dictionary, schlep is that one guy in Hawaii that is not over the age of 65. He will tell you that he lives in Costa Mesa and not much after that. You will stalk him and run downstairs to see if he is still there playing volleyball, but he will not be there. He stays on the 6th floor and stares at you as you pass him in the elevator.
Urban Dictionary has gone too far.
Is that the highest voted one, or is that just?
It's like right at the top. It's got 12 upvotes.
It's like every definition is just someone's single-handed experience. Like if you, probably not Bernie.
Or maybe
Yours
that's a
is
reference.
Like look up like Becca on Urban Dictionary. It's probably like a beautiful goddess. Like it's everyone just does
someone's a
their
little full
own
of
name.
herself.
No, like every name is like
the girl who can say anything and make you laugh, especially when she's serious.
Yeah.
But then
okay.
the one below
Look
that's
up
like
Blaine.
slut.
Blaine is probably like a jacked dude who's your bro to the end.
Probably not.
It's like Yahoo Answers. That became literally anything but answers you actually want. It was always just the most unbelievable garbage on that site. Be like, yeah, I have this lump on my shoulder and it's turning very dark. What is that?
Cancer.
And they're like, everyone's like, my sister had that. You have pepper under your skin or something. It was always the stupidest shit. Blaine. To completely fail at something, to be a complete failure.
You blamed it.
Rooster Teeth's Blaine Gibson, who, while not particular failure in his own right, is constantly mocked as being one by his coworkers. Top entry on Urban
They
Dictionary.
had just forgotten that. The community had and now I'm just going to be like, blamed it.
I had forgotten about that.
Everybody did.
It's back.
Now I'm back.
Urban Dictionary never forgets.
What was that thing? Oh, shit.
Bernie is to get in one's car and drive around smoking a joint. Let me see what Gus.
Oh, Bernie, that's good. Yeah, I get it. it.
Gus is the most coolest kid you'll ever meet, even if he does eat a lot of food and gets all the girls to say, "Oh, I love you, Gus. You're so huggable."
I wrote that.
Yeah. You're so
You're
huggable.
so huggable.
I'm so huggable. That's code.
I don't think I've ever hugged Gus.
Second definition for Gus is word that rhymes with bus.
Oh.
So thank you,
Call
Urban
back.
Dictionary, for contributing to public knowledge.
I don't think Gus would let you hug him.
We can hug. You want to hug?
Have we hugged?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Someone sent a photo of us hugging. We
I think
talked
I
about
made you hug me at a convention
Yeah.
one time.
it was as awkward as I hoped it would be.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
I want it to come up organically. So
I also
we're
don't
not
like
gonna
that
do it on
shirt.
the podcast. We'll do it at like RTX when we're drunk or something, probably.
So I was going to say, speaking of Twitter and my Twitter poll, you tweeted about Master of None the other day and about how great the soundtrack is
I want
So
to talk
good.
to you guys
for
about
season
that.
2. I finally finished it. I felt like it took me a while to start watching season 2. Like I was really excited about it. I loved season 1, and I finally finished season 2 last night. And I thought it was really good. I still think I liked season 1 more,
Yeah.
but season 2 was pretty good.
Season 2 had such better writing, in my
Yeah.
opinion. The performances were still kind of like hit or miss.
Dude, I loved that Italian girl.
She is
Sandra? Francesca.
Babe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm really happy to see that show do so well, and I felt like they do one-off episodes so well. Like the
I Love You, New
I love
York.
you, New York.
I Love You
yeah.
New York, and even I felt like the Thanksgiving one was kind of
Yeah, that one was really
one-off.
cool. Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one.
You're fired. But it's good to see like they have a formula, and it's like you have story episodes and like non-story episodes, and they really you never feel like you're wasting your time. I felt like they always do a good job of making you feel entertained, and you're still learning as you're watching that show.
Dude, it's such good commentary on dating in the 21st century as well.
Yeah, after there's that whole like Tinder first date episode, I watched
Yeah.
that with Esther, and we finished it. We looked at each other, I was like, I'm glad I missed that.
Oh, I
Like
know.
I've never had to do that in my life. Like that looks fucking horrible.
And that it was so like accurate to how that whole thing goes. It's like you have these setup questions, and it's basically a date could be interchangeable. You can just pop somebody in, and it's like you're gonna cover the same fucking thing. Oh, how many brothers and sisters do you have? Like all that stuff.
And did you notice in that episode, like there were no cuts?
Yeah,
A lot of like it would just pan away and then
Oh.
go back, and it was just a different
Someone
girl.
They would
different.
just like conceal it with some sort
Yeah,
of
like they'd cut to the
editing.
straight, go back, new girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Pretty cool.
It's amazing.
So it's just
show.
like he was dating a bunch of different people at one time, kind of a thing.
It was just
What
like
Not
him
one
going
time.
through his Twitter date like
Tinder.
ritual or Tinder date.
so
what
it's
is
like
it?
all of his first dates.
yeah.
And it's
they're
like
all the same, but
s-
different people.
Same formula, same restaurants. Yeah, just like same conversations. It was super accurate.
Yeah, it looked horrible. It looked, I mean, not horrible. It looked terrifying. Is
Yeah.
the better word for me, I think.
I did like in this season though, like
You've been with Esther how long?
We've been married 10 and a half years.
Okay, I'll come back to that. Go ahead.
Oh, I just like that Aziz had his employment part of his life figured out in this season, so that like he wasn't struggling with money as well as dating, because that was a big issue in season 1. Was he's just trying to find a job as well as dating people. But yeah, Francesca.
Yeah.
Great show. If you have
helicopter.
Netflix, you should absolutely watch it.
I was just waiting for that in the helicopter scene. Like this is gonna happen.
Same.
There it went. Yep.
I was just thinking because you've over the course of the time that I've known you, which is a really long time, you had a long-term relationship, then you were single, then you had a long-term relationship, Esther.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which covered now 10 years, 10 and a half years, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always think it's interesting like that. I can remember times in my life being single and going into a long-term relationship, and then being in a long-term relationship and going into single. And it's you know, you kind of forget what the other one is like, you know, when you're in it. But it's like, especially when you're in a long-term relationship, single seems like a lot of fun, but it's so much fucking mental overhead. It's just like constant work and everything. Like I would watch Blaine when he was single, and it was like almost like your identity was being a single person, you know. Whereas you know, when you're in a long-term relationship, I find I'm like way more productive, you know. It's just like you have this like nice baseline for having a relationship and being able to build a life around that.
I think it's like a truer representation of who you are is when you're in a relationship like that you're comfortable with, because when you're single, it's just like you're just fucking rabid. Like I remember just thinking about single girls all the time, just being on Tinder and stuff like that. It's like addicting. So, yeah.
Did you see that awful, speaking of Tinder, did you see that awful video of the guy who was using a fidget spinner on Tinder?
He just like stuck it on and just went like yeah.
What is that?
What are fidget spinners? Everybody's been going nuts over those, and I'm like
They're, like,
starting to see
little propeller. I think we have one in the marketing office.
I got a fidget cube.
Yeah, see,
Those
that's
are way cooler.
Yeah,
It's-
fidget cubes are better, I think.
It's a same thing.
Fidget cubes are expensive. Fidget spinners are like you can get them for like $1 on promo websites.
I think you know it's a fad whenever it's like you see them at gas stations, and I've seen both fidget cubes and spinners at gas stations. and just,
Gasoline? Fad.
well, no, it's like that.
Chewing gum? Fad.
It's the impulse counter. They've got like Pokemon cards like right there for the
Fad.
kid to grab.
So what my 8-year-old nephew wanted for his first communion gift was a fidget spinner.
Oh.
It's what all the kids have.
I don't even have one.
Do you collect them or do you get one and that's it? You're good.
Probably get one until it breaks in a day.
I just miss Beyblades.
I walked into the other studio the other day to do some audio, and Carrie had a fidget spinner, and he was so happy with it. He was like running around, showing it to everybody, spinning it, and trying to. I started asking him, "Can you do tricks with it? Like, put it on your fingertip and like spin it around?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "I haven't figured that out yet. I can't do that yet." I think he's working on it.
The yo-yo balls of this generation.
Yeah,
Dude,
Pet rock.
did you guys ever have a yo-yo fad at your school?
Oh, a yo-yo fad? Not real yo-yos.
We had it in my school. Yeah.
Duncan, man.
Duncan
they cleaned
yo-yos,
up.
yeah.
Got big for a little bit. Just came back and then was gone in like 4 months.
the glow in the dark yo-yo, the butterfly.
I did
Butterfly
have-
was dope.
Yeah, I did have a glow-in-the-dark one. Or like one that like lit up as it spun.
Oh right, yeah.
Were we talking about AIDS before?
Always.
Sure.
I want to bring that back up because I was like really interested in where that conversation was going.
Oh, it was right
oh.
before we started recording.
Oh right. We were talking about
CRISPR.
CRISPR. Yeah, that was before we started
Right.
rolling.
Gus and I
we were talking about
before the
CRISPR genetic modifications.
And I want to say before we start talking about this, there's like 1 billion internet videos about this, and you should probably go watch all of those because that's about our level of knowledge of what this is. Gus, you seem
Yeah,
way more
there's-
steeped in it than I am.
There's also a great
So
episode.
this is a trigger warning for science kids.
Yes.
You're
the
about to
first-
get super upset.
This is the first I've heard about it.
There's also a great episode of Vice from last season.
No such thing.
That covered CRISPR, and what it is basically it's a way, or it's a peptide that can go through DNA and then find certain sequences, remove them, and replace them.
So what does that entail? Like, what does that mean?
So basically, you can
on a macro level.
in theory, could rewrite all of your DNA.
So I could turn my skin like mocha color?
Right, but there are problems. Okay, so yes, theoretically you could. What in some examples, so it's not always that easy is what people are finding out. So in one example, they wanted to change a trait on moths. They were like, okay, we want to take this moth and change it from one color to another color. So they did that, and they ran CRISPR, and they were like, we know what sequence governs that. So they took out all those, replaced them with the new color. But what happened was, all the new moths of the new color, their wings didn't form right. It's like, oh, well, that sequence is also tied to wing formation, and we just didn't realize that. So it's like all of your DNA is very interconnected.
Butterfly effect.
Right.
Moth
That's
effect.
really good. So it's about finding it and then about finding all of the different connections and
job, everybody.
modifying all of them. So we're still at the very early stage where we don't really understand all of those interconnects. But in theory, yes. And I've heard stories about how they want to start using the technology in embryos to allow parents to select
Choose.
eye color, hair color, and other physical traits for.
It's like a video game then.
It's scary because then if you start doing that, you're
Why would you do it with an embryo though? It just seems like you could just do that at any point in your life.
less cells, less DNA. Like it's your starting place.
Got it.
You're starting with you're starting with the stem cells that then create everything else.
Wouldn't it be cool if you did that though? Went from brown to blue, and your eyes slowly clouded over and blue over the course of like 2 months, and then we're blue at the end of 2 months, like
That'd be kinda
braces, but for your eyes.
But I mean, then you're fucking with
You're playing
with
God.
genetic selection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because we have a certain degree of diversity in our DNA, to ensure survivability. It's just same thing with bananas. I've been on bananas lately quite a bit. Like all bananas
Guess it's bananas for bananas.
are probably going to be extinct in the next 10 years.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, bananas are gone.
Oh,
And eat all the bananas you can now because
what's Donkey Kong gonna do?
right now all banana trees are clones of the same banana plant. That's why bananas don't have seeds.
Ah,
They're cloned, and right now there is a fungus called Tropical Race 4 that's affecting all banana plants. So it infects them, kills them, and then makes the ground where they can't plant bananas there again.
shit.
The podcast answers, Jeremiah took this topic. I guess you brought it up before, and he had a really great explanation of the whole epidemic.
And it's happened before.
We brought it up before because of the
Right.
Cavendish bananas.
Well, Cavendish is the current banana.
was it
but,
Big Mike?
I don't remember what the old ones were
The
called.
old ones. The
Yeah.
one, you notice how banana flavored, this is where retread here of a topic before. Banana flavoring in candy doesn't taste anything like
Garbage.
bananas because it tastes like what bananas used to taste
taste like.
Yeah, but those are all gone.
And everyone
Interesting.
who's eaten the old bananas says that the bananas we have now are garbage compared to the old bananas. That the old bananas were really good, and now currently bananas, they suck.
There's no way I can remember that.
Right, it was before any of our time.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to happen again, and now eventually, probably in our lifetimes, banana's going to be replaced again. We're going to have a different banana that we're all going to have to eat.
Yeah, Big Mike bananas. Gros Michel is the actual name of the banana, which is French for Big Mike.
But the reason you were talking
Fat
about
Mike, I think, actually.
AIDS
Mike, I
is that
gotta let you know.
there was a breakthrough recently where they think that they can remove AIDS using CRISPR technique.
Yep. It's
pretty cool.
If you saw headlines that said the life expectancy for someone with HIV is now the same as someone without it, it's because of this. This is the latest development in HIV treatment.
I saw a bus driving by like on my way to work the other day, and it said something about an HIV preventative. I wonder if that's connected or something.
No, it's not. So I saw a billboard about it. I actually took a photo of it because I thought it was really
Is it
cool.
a condom?
No, it's I don't want to misspeak. So let me find the photo of the billboard.
They've had that for a while, though. You can take antivirals like very quickly and fight it off, but it's awful. I knew a guy. This is sound weird. I knew a guy who got stabbed in prison. Or not. That's not the right way to say that. He got stabbed in a prison.
Okay.
And
Shivved?
yes, and that the common thing that's done is if a prisoner stabs you, is that they will taint it with blood, and so the prisoner, of course, didn't refuse to be tested, and so or tell them where the blood came from or anything like that. So he had to go through these antiviral treatments, and apparently they were fucking horrible.
Like painful?
Yes, I'm working from memory here again, but I think they had to give him a shot in his hip bone.
You are correct. I've heard that story as well.
That is correct.
Have y'all ever had spinal taps?
No.
No, my ex did though.
I had one when I was like 4, and I will never
Why?
forget it.
Okay, can I
They
ask?
said I had meningitis.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
my ex had it.
That was an Eagle Pass in the hospital.
If
there.
you have a
Oh God, I'm so sorry. That's
I know,
even worse
yeah.
then.
If you have a super bad headache, I'm not going to try to advise you to not get medical help, but if you have a super bad headache and you go to an emergency room, you just tell them you're having the worst headache of your life, that's a very specific symptom that they will then give you a spinal tap.
Like a stiff neck too, right?
Yeah. If you say, I'm having literally the worst headache of my life, they will immediately gravitate towards meningitis.
So this is the billboard I saw. It's actually really close to the studio. It's over there, like at Airport and 38th, I think. It says, "Get the pill that prevents HIV."
No, I saw that the other day too. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I just thought it was.
It's cyanide.
I took a photo of it and like, wow, that's really weird. Like I thought back to like when I was growing up and when I was younger, and nobody understood what it was. It's like, oh, it's this crazy epidemic's going to kill everyone. It's like now I'm driving like that's like I live in the future. I'm driving by a billboard that's like, get the pill that prevents it.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So, by the way, I used to work when I was in college. I worked at the Student Health Center, and I worked in basically public sex health education. And that's a terrible billboard because it's amazing how little people know about sexual health. And that billboard is potentially damaging because someone will read that billboard and go, the pill prevents HIV. Okay. That's because they use the word the pill. And so if you have that on the billboard, that's a terrible billboard, especially depending on where you put it. That's a really bad idea to have that. Because the pill is obviously not great protection against HIV. It's probably the worst method of birth control to prevent against HIV.
Sorry to go like super InfoWars, but that CRISPR thing sounds like the beginning of a movie where it's like a zombie outbreak.
Yeah, I Am
Oh,
Legend.
yeah.
Kind of like that's how I Am
Yeah.
Legend starts.
Yeah.
What's it? She got such a small part in the movie. Emma. Who's the famous Emma? Emma Thompson, the older actress. She's the scientist that cures cancer, and then everyone turns into the I Am Legend stuff. Yeah.
Vampires.
Yeah,
Emma Thompson,
it's scary stuff to think about. Like you see like a new technology and like, oh,
Yeah.
what's the worst possible outcome from this?
Yeah.
It's always apocalypse.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like what current day is something that like is Zika? Is that like the current like
For
People
a
have
big threat
kind
in
of
south of the equator.
But
Right? It's
everyone-
still a big deal.
If everyone had blue eyes, Becca, you're a lady.
I'm a lady.
If everyone had blue eyes, wouldn't brown eyes become more attractive?
Potentially.
I feel like over time, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone gets blue eyes, then there's less brown eyes, then all those people forget, and then it goes back and forth.
It's been my experience talking to women because it's always hard to figure out what the hell women use for that gauge of attraction. It's always like I always go back to the one comment I heard that was the most ridiculous comment where she's like, "Oh, that guy's so hot. He looks like he could change a tire." I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Hey, lady.
That is so unquantifiable.
I can change a tire.
as he drops the
It's too bad you
drop my
missed Gus
olive.
dropping his olive while he was hitting on people. Do you want these olives, Beck?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all yours.
Thanks.
Guys tend to be attracted to like a type. They tend to have a type, and they go for that type. But more so with women, they'll meet a guy and they like him because he's completely different, like he's from Italy or something like that. Accents especially drive women crazy, in particular.
accents go for dudes too.
They work.
Yeah.
They work for guys too. They work for guys too, but I think they work a lot better on women than dudes.
I think I was talking to my mom, and she told me that I don't have a type. She was like evaluating all the girls that I've dated, and all of them have been like vastly different from one another.
Yep.
And I think that that's the case. Like, I don't know if I actually have a type.
Just the type is
Yeah.
that they all disappoint her.
No, my mom loves Solana. But Chris, I always
My
give
type
Chris
is
a
O
hard time.
positive because I'm a serial killer. That was like 2 callbacks.
That's nice. That's nice. It's good.
I tell Chris all the time that I know exactly what his type is because there's a feature on Instagram where it's like you can see the activity that your friends are doing. And every time I'll see Chris Damaris liked photos. and then-
Wait. What?
Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
You said there's a social thing on Tinder where you can see what other people are doing?
Twitter.
Instagram.
No,
Or
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
You can see what people are interacting, how they commented, or like what they said and stuff like that. And Chris every time has like a million dark-haired, exotic-looking women. He's liked photos from like 20 different accounts.
It really bothers me to see how thirsty my dude friends are.
right. I know.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
keep it down a little.
There's
It's really
another
though,
term,
Instagram.
thirsty.
It's kind of like the lame version of Twitter, really, isn't it?
What,
It's like,
Instagram?
it's like the passive-aggressive version of Twitter.
It's kind of like a watered down version. I
Watered
feel
down,
like. But I think that makes it more accessible, and that's why it has more people. But yeah, they're thirsty. That's a good point.
It's a numbers game, Becca. They got to try. These guys, they got to try.
Can't hit a home run if you don't swing the bat.
Chris is not going to meet a girl on Instagram.
He actually did, and they kind of dated briefly.
Oh boy.
Kind of dated briefly.
There you
Well-
go. He's not going to meet a wife on
Oh,
Instagram.
I don't want to get too far into Chris's
Can
stuff.
he donate blood now after this girl?
Yes. I believe
Oh,
so.
okay.
He doesn't weigh 110 pounds though. So
Yeah, he's like 100 pounds. Fucking wet.
But it
Speaking
couldn't have
of
been that exciting.
social media, I had an annoyance with Snapchat because I guess they had
Fuck Snapchat.
an app update, and now they put your Bitmoji on your Snap, on your Snap code.
like they force it.
Yeah, like it's just there now.
I don't have a Bitmoji.
I don't have a
I'm never
Bitmoji.
going to fuck with a Bitmoji.
What's a
I'm not going
Bitmoji?
to install the Bitmoji app. I'm not going to do it.
Oh,
It's like the
those
little cartoon
stupid
strip.
fucking
yeah,
Yeah.
where like you're dabbing or whatever.
Feel like I made the right call by staying away from Instagram and Snapchat until one of them got kind of figured out which one was going to make it. And I really think the Instagram, because there's so many.
For a long time, it seemed like it was Snapchat,
It
but
did.
it seems like Instagram is eating their lunch now.
Well, okay.
Also, Instagram can copy everything they do, and it's fine.
Instagram has a long way to go with the filters. The face filters suck. They're derivative. Snapchat, like that's the thing that keeps me coming back every day. They change up the filters, and they're really well done. Like they're very realistic.
Here's where I agree with you and disagree with you at the same time. You are 100% correct. The face filters are way better on Snapchat. It's what I hate about Snapchat. I hate the face filters. I just hate it. I do with my kids, but we don't record anything. But I stopped watching people's stories on Snapchat because it's just them in a different filter,
selfie.
or just in a different filter every day.
Yeah.
You know, and,
And
some
the
people do
voice
some
is,
fun
like,
stuff.
augmented and all
Yeah.
that shit.
Some people do fun stuff, like Holly from the community. She's been to like RTX a bunch of different times. I follow her on Snapchat, and she does like the filters, especially with the voice changes, and then she does like super aggressive Pulp Fiction quotes in the mouse voice and stuff like that. It's really funny.
I had a badge notification stuck on my Instagram app, and it drove me so crazy that I just deleted the app. I had to do a purge.
I would delete it for a badge. You mean the little red number?
Would not go away.
Yeah, no,
I don't understand people who can use their phone and have like unread
The
notifications.
other day, I saw
Same.
that Ezra
Yeah,
had
I see.
67,000 unread emails
Yeah.
on his phone.
Matt's the same way. Matt's inbox is just one long chain going back to the history of when he had email. And I couldn't stand it if it was
drives me
like that.
insane.
I'm
I
an
think I have-
inbox zero kind of gal.
What do you have?
9,000
Oh, no.
emails.
See, I have
Just get,
56 missed phone calls.
Just open the phone app. Just
Can't
clear it
even
out.
do it.
Oh,
Just want to throw it away.
I have 2 emails right now, and they're unread because I haven't like addressed them yet because I haven't really started working. And I always know how many emails I have on my phone.
I'm at 3 right now. I try to keep it like single digit and like
Yeah.
try
3
to work
what?
through unread emails.
no shit.
yeah. I probably have like 13 because it's like
I have-
early in the day.
I have a couple of different email management software programs that come in and help me manage the workflow. Like there's one that sits there
This is so hot.
and
This conversation.
using like heuristics, it can kind of figure out how important an email is,
What's a heuristic?
like a learning algorithm. It figures out what's important to me and what's not, and then it'll put stuff
Nothing's important.
into my inbox and then other stuff into like a separate box. And then once a day, it's like, here's the less important stuff you may have missed. And they're like, okay, then I'll scan through it. Like, oh no, this was actually important.
That's
or
cool.
Like these I don't need to know about.
And you can tell it, hey, this is
and
important.
then it's learning more all the time. Like this was actually important, this was not important, and it just kind of like learns about who you interact with and how you interact
So
with
Blaine emails are like top priority.
anyone. Shouldn't say this.
Do it.
No, do it. Yeah, absolutely do it.
Don't think.
Anyone who emails me from within the company automatically gets, like, I can see them right away. There's like they bypass my filter.
Okay.
It's like I see your email.
Why were you
immediately.
like hesitant to say that?
I don't
Because
know.
you don't want people in the company mailing you.
I don't know if then people outside the company can spoof a company email
Now that
address.
you've said it.
I don't
then
think it's that
bypass
easy
it.
to do anymore. I remember there
Oh
was
no,
a-
it's still super easy.
like I remember sending emails from fake email addresses to people and trolling them
Yeah.
all the time.
No, I don't want to encourage that.
I hate when people find my email and then it's like, oh, shit. Probably shouldn't talk about that.
Yeah, it's good that you brought it up though.
Do you guys have reminders in your phone or something that occur every week or every day? Or am I the
You
only
really
one?
need to watch my last vlog.
Sorry.
It's tailor made for you. It's all about tilt shift, and then I went through a whole thing from my last vlog about motivation and how do you stay motivated. And I was talking about inspiration and how when people talk about staying inspired and working on things and staying busy and being creative, that or fitness or whatever, that they always attribute that to motivation. And I got to stay motivated. And I was talking about my personal philosophy, which is I don't believe in motivation because motivation is the emotional component of inspiration. You got to wait for it to come to you. The trick is how do you do it when you're not motivated? Like how do you always continue to work? And that's through discipline. And you're one of the most disciplined people I know. Like you sit there and track everything that you eat. You know, if Blaine will be like, I haven't been into the gym in 36 hours or something like that. Like you know when the last time you're in the gym and you got to get back into the gym for that kind of thing.
Do you ever go 36 hours without going to the gym?
Yeah, I'll have rest days. That's running a little long. I might be sick or something if that's the case.
And then, but to answer your question, yeah, I use a program called Todoist, which is a to-do list. I'm a to-do list junkie.
To-do lists are great.
Yeah, and this Todoist, you can just say, add this to my to-do list every day. Add this every Thursday. Add this every third day.
Is this an app?
It's an app.
Does it do
Todoist.
Amazon Echo?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I'm going to check that out. That sounds
They
awesome.
recently made some updates to it. Like it's cross-platform. It goes to your desktop and everything else. So you can just update it wherever you want to.
Can't you do reminders on your phone?
I do reminders. Every day at 3 p.m. it says take creatine, and then on Sundays it says floss.
I think the only recurring thing that I really use on my phone, aside from calendar, obviously, is like the bedtime.
I use
on the
that.
iPhone.
Okay,
So few people use that, and I love
because
it.
it's fucking bullshit, and
Why?
it screwed me over. It made me late for work. I think in a shoot.
Why?
I don't know. I don't want to bother like
This is
figuring
like
it
the
out.
Seinfeld episode where there are all the different ways an alarm clock can go
It's
wrong.
the best way to wake up. It's way better than
Yeah.
the old alarm. Like the way it slowly starts at a low volume and then you kind of like slowly come out of sleep instead of just being jarred and scared.
It somehow fucked me over. Twice I gave it a chance, or 3 times, and I don't trust it anymore.
So I use bedtime and a regular alarm. Bedtime is 10 minutes before my get out of bed
Right.
alarm. So like I ease in and then I can like kind of snooze a
I
little
think
bit.
what had happened was like one of them overtook the other one, because I also did that. I did a backup alarm as safety, and they both like canceled each other out or something.
What's your alarm strategy, Bernie?
I'm trying to pull up my to-do list here to show Blaine. Evan, who works with us, actually I think has one of the best strategies ever. A problem I'm currently trying to solve in my life is how quickly I pick up and check social media. Just like rotate through it, bang, 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 you know? And it's just like, it's such a waste of time. Not even contributing, just reading stuff.
Yeah.
And
Like the only thing I find really valuable is people communicating at me on Twitter. I checked almost all of those. I got really furious because I realized the other day Twitter is now no longer showing me all of my mentions.
That's why I use Tweetbot. Because
Why not?
the Twitter app is garbage.
Yeah, it's infuriating. I went into Tweetbot and I'm like, oh, there's like, I thought no one's mentioned me. This sounds so arrogant. No one's mentioned me. No one's added me, messaged me in like an hour. And that's weird that on Twitter that it would be over an hour between someone messaging at me. And so then I went on Tweetbot, and yeah, I had 5 in the last hour that I just didn't see because
Weird.
Twitter wasn't showing to me. And then I saw in subsequent hours or previous hours, I saw that there were other mentions that didn't. So it wasn't just like a timing thing. It just they weren't going to show it to me.
The only thing I use the Twitter app on iOS for is either posting a poll or using the integrated GIF function in it.
Dude, I always feel like when I go to post a GIF, pause every time I say it now. When I go to post a GIF, it's a crapshoot of whether or not it's going to have motion in it or not by the time it gets to Twitter. Like I can copy it from Google image search.
Oh yeah,
You know?
it's
Oh,
tough.
yeah.
Yeah, so I have to now use that integrated thing. But in answer to your question, alarm strategy, one of the things I want to adopt is what Evan Bregman does. Is he does not allow screens in his bedroom. Like the phones stay outside the bedroom. They charge in the living room. So then they wake up with normal alarm clocks, and then get up and go find their phones. So you can't
you know
have your
what?
phone in bed.
I'm an adult and I can just put my phone down
Well,
Yeah.
that's true.
in
For a
bed.
period of time, I would
Fucking
charge
don't
my
have your phone in your
phone
bedroom.
across
Just don't
the
use
room.
it.
So I had to get out of bed to turn off my alarm.
Yeah, they used to have those alarm clocks that would like run away from you.
Yeah,
You have to get
those
up
were
and
awesome.
Fuck those things.
Just stand up. That's just get out of bed.
I'm a horrible.
I'm going to
the worst
argue
in the morning.
in my case to have my phone by my bed because being in a distance relationship, if something does happen and I need to like contact Alana or she needs to contact me because like sometimes like there's a 2-hour time difference between us and San Francisco. So if she's out and I go to sleep before she gets back home, I want to know like okay, she got home safe.
Like
Oh,
she
she's
she
sweet.
messages you and 2 a.m. and it's like I found somebody better. That kind of thing.
that kind of thing. Yeah,
Emergency.
exactly. Emergencies.
Here, let me read this thing here.
Read that thing.
There's no one better than you, Blake.
Oh, thanks.
Want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by The Mummy. The Mummy Zero Gravity VR was a big success during this year's South by Southwest. Now it's available at 30 Rock. It's open to the public now through June 11th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Enter off the plaza on 49th Street side. The experience features all kinds of props from the film, and there's a photo op with a sarcophagus. Make sure to check out the Mummy Zero Gravity VR experience now at 30 Rock. And if you want to know what that's like, we actually filmed a RT Life, or Michael and I filmed an RT Life during South by Southwest where we got a chance to check it out. It was really cool use of VR, really cool way to see behind the scenes and how they film, a scene like this that was, probably the most iconic scene in the trailer where people are, where they actually do in practical effects where they use the vomit comet. Yeah, and they film everyone in 0G. It's a really cool experience. You really should check it out if you're in New York and you have a chance to check out 30 Rock. Go check out the Mummy Zero Gravity VR experience. Cool. It's fun. Not talking about the Mummy, talking about something different. I saw a ridiculous headline this morning that I saw. It was like, this is totally podcast talk. And I'm going to bring it up right here. The headline, it's on New York Daily News. This is the headline. I'm just going to read the headline.
He just reads it to himself.
Black man receives white penis transplant.
Go ahead.
Plans to tattoo it to match his skin color.
Oh,
That's
jeez.
awesome. They can do a penis transplant.
That's awesome. Apparently, it's the second one. This team has done one once before. And so it sounds like the headline's kind of misleading. It makes it sound like a mistake, but no, this wasn't a mistake. That's what they plan to
This
do.
is dick donor.
Apparently, there's a problem in
Didn't sound like a mistake to me.
in South Africa where. Well, let me just read the first sentence
Where
for
they
now
just
from
have
the
a
article.
surplus of white penises. I don't know what to do with them.
A 40-year-old black man received a penis transplant from a white donor 17 years after he lost his own penis in a routine circumcision.
Whoa.
I think that's a misuse of the word routine.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Routine is not what I would use to describe that particular circumcision.
Apparently, South Africa has a problem with circumcisions gone wrong. And they have a very high number of penis amputations or partial amputations every year.
Fucking bummer.
My God.
And
do
so
you
I
mean?
guess that's why this team of South African doctors now have pioneered this penis transplant technology.
It seems like you're focusing on the wrong
Yeah.
technology.
This is a preventative case.
Yeah.
It's like, one, you don't have to do it. Two, why the fuck is it getting fucked up so frequently if you are doing it? And this guy was getting circumcised at 23?
Ow.
It's just a really, really bizarre story. And they said that the other guy, they did it once before, and I think in December of 2014, that, that went successfully, and the guy was able to regain urinary and sexual functions with his penis. Like, it healed fine. But it's like, I can't imagine having to live through that. And then for this guy, going through medical tattooing of the
On
penis.
your dick.
Yeah, so that
I just
it
wouldn't do
matches
that. I
you.
think that at least you get laid a lot more if you're like, oh, by the way,
Yeah.
I'm black, but my penis is white.
Would you
Got
though?
that vanilla dip.
I would get what you're going for. Don't go there. But I'm saying it's just like if you had anything interesting that someone couldn't see, I feel like
That's
like the
more
dude on Reddit
valuable.
with 2 dicks.
Or it's
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
it's like you could
Here we go
potentially
again.
have a porn career. Right? It's like
Yeah.
an unusual thing that nobody's
yeah.
seen before.
Franken dick. It's got the stitches and little metal rods sticking out.
Because people be like, "There's no way." It's true. I really do. I really
Yeah.
do.
That's like saying a lot of people are dying from car accidents, so we're going to pad the streets with pillows instead of putting seatbelts in. It's like just solve the
It's
circumstance.
actually we kind of do that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, with the big event that happened in Manchester, not to bring this conversation down, I'm sure we're going to see very specific reactions of security measures to that event, to that specific event. Like, remember when the one guy went on the plane with a bomb in his shoe? Now we all take our shoes off for the rest of time when we go through.
Yeah, let's be real. We all have pre-check.
We all
Yeah.
pre-check, but you don't
I
do
do
it.
too now.
But
so fucking
sorry.
But the thing where we all have to take off our shoes now, it's like then some guy's gonna bring a bomb and a watch, and no one will be able to bring their watch on a plane.
Well, you're not.
We're starting to get there with
They're
like the
never-
electronics ban now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They never do what they did before, but we always react like they're going to, oh, now they're doing the shoe thing, and they're going to do it all the time.
Yeah, they did it once.
Yeah, they did it once, and now we're all taking off our shoes forever.
What's the electronic ban?
Well, there was a limited laptop ban from certain like Middle Eastern countries going, I think, to the UK and to the US. And there's been talk about that potentially expanding to all international flights coming into the US where your electronics cannot go into the cabin with you.
Fuck. Oh god, that's gonna be so boring.
You don't want the electronics in the cargo hold, though. I mean, it's like
I assume that those go through additional screening, like another secondary.
what I'm saying
screening
is there's
process.
problems that can happen with electronics where it's better to have a person there.
Oh, right.
You know, that can just naturally happen with electronics.
Yeah.
It's better to have a
what
person
if your
who can deal with
Samsung
it.
phone caught on fire in the
In the cargo hold.
Well, I think
Yeah.
they're more targeting malicious use.
Do they have fire suppression in cargo holds yet?
Do they have fire? I believe there's limited fire suppression in cargo
It has to be
holds.
pretty
Yeah.
limited. They're not going to haul around a bunch of water, I guess, halon canisters or something like that. But
You'd think they could just, I mean,
yeah, I know what you're saying.
depressurize it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then just that's what it do. It vent all the oxygen. I know they're not in space, but
There's
you
still,
know,
there's still so little oxygen at that altitude that you think
Yeah.
it'd be all right.
plus that air is super cold.
Just put out the fire.
Cold kills fire.
I
right
Kills
away.
fire. It's
Yeah.
anti-fire. It's cold.
But then I
Super cold.
worry if like I don't know if there's like animals or if there's like a separate. I have no idea how.
Oh, yeah.
Dogs flying down.
How
Yeah,
transporting
there are
an
animals down
animals
there.
go.
I think they just stick them in there. That's why they always die.
That's why I would never take
Hell no.
my pets with me on a trip.
I was talking to Andre. He's our guy that works in like he does visual effects and stuff for live action. And he transported 2 cats from Canada, and I was like, that must have been a fucking hell process to get those cats down here.
You ever taken a cat in a car?
Yeah.
It's awful.
But in an airplane though,
They hate cats hate everything, and they hate being in cars. I'm
Well-
sure they can acclimate at some point if you take them on enough cars. But going to the vet, or I'd have to bring Joe to the office every now and then.
Do they just like get on? Does he like get on your shoulders?
They pant.
Yeah.
No, the worst thing they can do sometimes is they'll get at your feet and lean on the pedals,
Oh.
and then like get out of there.
So you got to get a carrier, man.
Yeah.
Well, I have a carrier for Joe, and then he howls in it the entire time.
So one of my best friends from Texas moved to Hungary, lived there for like 8 years. So she moved from Texas to Hungary with her 2 dogs. One of them's a pretty big dog, had to be in the cargo hold. One of them's a dachshund.
Sorry, I don't mean to sidetrack you here.
You're about to.
What are there no rules for taking an animal
out.
to another country?
Yeah, it depends on the intaking country.
Okay.
So a lot of countries have a quarantine period.
Like Australia,
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Australia is a really strict one, and Hawaii actually has a pretty restrictive one too, just because it's like so
New
insulated.
Zealand does too.
Okay, sorry, just curious.
But yeah, so I think it was like 2 weeks. They had to like sit in a kennel just for observation. So they lived in Hungary for like I don't know 6 years. And so at this point, these dogs are like insanely old. And she just moved back to the States. Actually, she moved to Ireland for a little bit, and now she's back in the States. So she has traveled all over the country with these dogs.
All over the world.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, all over the world. Yeah, and one of them's like 15 years old.
Damn.
Yeah.
How is he holding up?
She's all right. Like, she made it.
Must be some chill ass dogs.
I know.
Yeah.
Ashley took a cat to and from Australia and had to put it in quarantine for a month every time when she moved down there.
Yeah.
Have you woken up and that cat's just like trying to like slit her throat?
I would be so lonely. I would be so sad if I would be there every day. I would drive the kennel place crazy. Just like, I'm just going to hang out here all day.
Can
Yeah.
you do that?
Yeah, you can visit. Yeah.
That's a lot of dedication. It's a lot of time to invest, and that's a lot of stress to put an animal through.
Yeah.
To take them like that. Yeah, I would never take my pet on a plane or anywhere. And it's weird. Like I think last year I was in the Houston airport. And I think I took a photo of it. I should see if I can find it. Where there was like the restrooms. There was like the men's room, the women's room, and there was like a pet restroom. There was a sign for like a pet restroom in the airport. I was
Nice. I saw one of those in Seattle. It's just like a little balcony where dogs can go out and pee. Like, that's so smart because in Austin, you have to leave security
Right.
and come back through.
You know what's a cool thing that I've noticed about bathrooms is I've been in more and more places. I was just in Brooklyn this last weekend. I was in this hotel, and their lobby bathroom was unisex. and more unisex stuff, which is kind of neat to begin with. But I think a really cool effect of having a unisex bathrooms is the bathrooms stay way cleaner.
Are they one-holers or is it like stalls?
It's
Or just
stalls. So
men
it's
and women
like a
flowing through?
room that has the sinks and then stalls with full doors, basically, like floor to ceiling, doors
Yeah.
on them. And there's a whole row of those. There's like 8 or 10 of those, which is awesome because then there's also way more. You have to worry about like when you're at a stadium and the line for the
One line's really long.
yeah, it's super duper.
From
long.
my experience, men's and women's bathrooms are equally filthy. It's just the urine is in different places. Men's bathrooms, it's on the floor. Women's bathrooms, it's all over the toilet.
It's all over the seat. Yeah.
Yep.
I was having a conversation with Alana because I went to a place and I was like, oh, they had this guy cut in front of me to go to the bathroom. I was like, shit, I'm going to have to wait for that guy. But then they had unisex bathrooms. I was like, oh, score. I can just go to the other bathroom. And then I started talking to her, and I wonder, do you think in like 15 years they're going to have like that joke? Some kid's going to be watching a movie where there's going to be the joke where the guy goes into the girl's bathroom on accident, and that's going to be like an antiquated joke.
Yeah. I get
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're saying.
Absolutely.
I get what you're saying.
Like people are going to be like, what is, I don't even understand.
Like how we're like, oh, why is there a no smoking sign in this classroom? That's absurd.
Yeah.
What's the thing that you think of for that the most? Like something that has been lost to time and no longer makes sense as a joke or as a moment.
Phone booths is a big one.
Phone booths is a good one. Superman changing in the phone booth.
Anything that has to do with phone booths is, out of date.
That big vaudeville hook coming from off stage.
That's still funny.
I always think about the movie Poltergeist. They would talk to the ghosts after they played the national anthem and the television station went off the air and went to static. And people today would be like, what is that?
It's not even off the air, but it's also static's gone.
Yeah. There's no static anymore.
Blue.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of in the same vein, but I feel like horror movies as a genre are really screwed over by technology because for a long time it could be like you're stranded in the middle of nowhere and have no way to call for help.
Yeah.
But now cell phones are so ubiquitous that there's that. So you have to almost build into the plot a rationale
Trying
for
to, like,
why the phone doesn't
Even
work.
Seinfeld's been kind of ruined by that. It's like
Yeah.
a lot of Seinfeld plots are like, oh, if they could just had a cell phone or could just
Yeah.
call someone, this would be
Like
to be solved.
the episode where they're waiting for the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's why they're doing a lot of like period pieces. Like not only was the 80s like a cool period, but it also like cell phones weren't as common. So I
Right.
think that's why like some horror movies are like, yeah, it was back in the 80s before cell phones.
Well, I think even some films for a while tried to embrace the cell phone side of things. Like there was that I think it was a Korean horror film that I think there was a US version called One Missed Call, where it's like a horror film that centered around
Phones.
like around cell phones and around like missing a call that it was kind of like The Ring, where it's like there's this phone call and then you're going to die if you hear it and that kind of stuff.
I kind of hate that if you ever watch a modern horror movie or anything. Like I watched, God, what was that movie called? You're Next. It's pretty shit. I didn't like it. But I
like that movie.
thought it was terrible. The one that the director made after that was good, though, The Guest. Anyways, that was like one of the first things they addressed. As soon as the shit started hitting the fan, they were like, oh, my phone reception's gone. And I hate that we have to like check that box off for any sort of horror movie.
and not to shit on us, but like we had to do it in day 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like everyone's dead. Cell phone towers died. Eventually, no one's there to maintain them.
Yeah.
Reboot, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking technology. Making writing harder.
Yep.
Should be ashamed.
Yeah, it's but I'm sure we'll find there'll be something new, right? There's always like it's
Always
cyclical.
something
There's always
new.
gonna be something different that pops up, and that'll be the new thing that we focus on. So changing the subject a little bit, Texas Monthly had their annual Best Barbecue in Texas list.
Texas Monthly,
Not
is
you.
that his magazine?
And
Best barbecue in Texas. Was it in Austin?
was
number
all of
one?
Texas number one. It has been Franklin for a while, not Franklin anymore.
Go for it.
Cooper's?
No,
Cooper's.
number one is Snows.
Never even heard
It's
of
in
it.
Lexington.
Where's that?
Lexington, Texas.
I don't know where this is. I'm actually going to look it up.
I'll
Right?
look
Lexington.
at
I bet it's in
like
East Texas.
Played
I don't know.
paintball in Lexington, Texas.
So
Texas.
Franklin is now number 2 for Best Barbecue, and Snows has popped up to number
Dude,
1.
I just looked up Lexington, Texas on Google, and it has a little, you know how on the little side panel has information about the city? Had like a map of it, and it showed the little county where Lexington's in, and the only thing of note on there was Snow's Barbecue. Look, you can see, look at that, Snow's Barbecue for the entire city, the default view of Lexington, Texas.
Where is that in relation to Austin?
I will look that up for you right now.
Because I am.
So
Zoom,
Cooper's
zoom,
is
zoom,
on
zoom, zoom, zoom.
the top 50 list, but they only rank the top 10.
Oh, it's not far at all. It's between here and College Station.
Oh, that's.
It's a little bit hard to get
45
to,
minutes.
but it's
Is it off 290?
yeah, you'd have to go 290 and then like you should be able to just cut across there, but you got to kind of go around to get to that, I guess. So yeah.
What's
I'll go.
According to Google, it's
Yeah,
a
this
weekend?
53-minute drive from our office.
Fuck that. Let's go this weekend.
what's the best barbecue in Austin
Smitty's.
aside from Franklin Smith? You've been to
Micklethwaite.
Lockhart.
I'm like actually trying to like
Micklethwaite.
keep okay.
Micklethwaite.
Is it Micklethwaite?
No, Micklethwaite.
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 Tom is an old friend. It's Micklethwaite.
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 I'll check it out.
Craft meats.
I just like brisket a whole lot.
They got a good brisket. I think the best thing about Micklethwaite is their sides. I think a lot of barbecue
It's
places.
100% Micklethwaite.
Yeah.
Micklethwaite.
I've never been.
A lot of places skimp. A lot of barbecue places focus on the meat and skimp on the sides. But I think the sides are really good there.
Ooh, size is important.
You recognize it's spelled with a TH, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that.
Okay. You're saying Micklethwaite?
No, Micklethwaite.
Okay.
I think my only exposure to is it Salt Lick is in the airport.
Still 100%
Yeah.
lifetime. I'm not being wrong, Gus. Good for you.
pretty good.
Way to
Not
keep the streak
good.
way to keep the streak alive.
Yeah, like Salt Lake is one of the most overrated places. Like it's kind of a tourist trap, I feel.
Yeah,
When
you go
people
there for,
come,
like,
they
it-
go out to Drippin' or wherever the hell it is.
They have
and-
like the family style stuff where it's like all you can eat and you take out of town visitors.
I felt like that for a long time for Salt Lake, and then I went there with I think Ed Robertson was in town, and we went there because he really wanted to go there, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was just I was like, why don't I used to live right next to Salt Lake, like a mile away from Salt Lake, where we first were working on Red versus Blue, and I got so sick of it because the only place to eat out there was Salt Lake. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're so lucky." It's like, no, I can only eat so much Salt Lake.
Salt Lake is not on the top 50 list.
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It's good though. You know, this is good in Austin. Good place to go.
Rudy's.
Tell you a place to go. Rudy's is always good. Rudy's is underrated.
I like their sauce.
Yeah.
Rudy's is massively underrated. Only because it's so easy to eat there. Everywhere else, it's like you got to jump through hoops just to eat barbecue. There's a place called Style Switch up on Lamar.
Style Switch.
So good.
It's
Garbage.
wrong with
It's
you?
garbage.
No,
No,
it's
you're wrong.
delicious. I guess I did eat there when I was hungover, but man,
Why would that make it better if you're hungover?
Because
A lot of the time you're like, oh,
like Taco Bell's is amazing when you're hungover. It's
Amazing. No.
We did an immersion about this. Food is terrible when you're hungover.
Yeah.
That is my
yeah.
favorite
Really?
hangover food.
I had to like just force something down when I'm hungover. It makes me feel better when I'm done, but I wouldn't say I enjoy the act of the food itself.
like I
Style
dig
Switch
stuff
is on the
more.
top 50.
Is it?
Yeah.
It
Is
deserves-
Micklethwaite?
Mickle is number 8.
Oh, wow.
good. Yeah.
Oh.
I've heard you say
Oh, there
lots
it
of
is.
good things about it. Corkscrew Barbecue,
Bodacious.
Tejas
wonder if Chris is
Chocolate Craftery. That sounds like a hipster place in East Austin.
If you're coming to RTX in Austin this July, that's a handy list for you to check out
Yeah.
and eat some barbecue when you're in town.
I actually have a vlog that we want to do before RTX, which is we did this thing where we went to the barbecue tour down in Lockhart, and that was a fun one, and people liked that. Where we went to 3 different barbecue places, and after the second one, I predicted some people were gonna be like, "I'm not going to the third place." Sure enough, that happened. I thought that was funny, and I thought, why don't we just do that in Austin? Like we go to every incredible restaurant in Austin, like Gordo's and Micklethwaite, Franklin's, Home Slice. Go to all those places, go all in one day, and it's just like one after the other, bang, 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 bang.
Isn't that from
And-
Louis? The
and
Bang Bang?
See who could fall off. Yeah, the bang bang. But like this would be like an all day thing. This would be like a Hobbit like breakfast. We get breakfast tacos from Torchy's.
Oh,
You
man.
know, then we just go through all the different places.
Or you
Adam
can get
Ellis
breakfast
did
tacos from somewhere
Get some
good.
ramen from Ramen Tatsu.
I feel like Adam Ellis did that once. Like he ended the night at Fogo de Chao, but all the day before he was like going to Home Slice, going to like.
Oh yeah, I think he did like a massive cheat day or something like that. I think
Yeah.
you're right. I think you did do that. Would you guys be in? You want to do it?
I would totally be down. Yeah,
I do it. I can put away some food.
If it's on a Saturday or a Sunday, because weekends are a little bit
It'll
more
be,
loose.
and it's your cheat day Sunday.
Yeah. Sunday's my cheat day.
Yeah.
I've actually got a nice system now where I switch out. One week I'll do Home Slice on Sunday, and then the next week I'll do Via 313, and then I'll go back to Home Slice.
And just to
Man.
be clear, he eats an entire home slice pizza for his cheat day.
An
That's what
entire
he does.
large one.
Yeah.
Do you eat
Yes.
like the bigger
probably do
Via
that.
313 also?
Yeah, the 8 slices.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, have y'all
I put those
had-
down
Thick. That's
easy.
fucking thick.
I put them down easy.
Have you had that
Hey.
balsamic prosciutto pizza at Via 313?
I don't.
The fucking best
I
thing
eat
I've
the
ever eaten in my
Detroiter
life.
is what
I
would
just
there.
I get the cheese and I get the pepperoni and I'm set. I don't want to try anything else. Those are
You
got
gotta try this pizza, dude. So good.
But okay, but the
Proud,
risk I
proud of you,
run,
boy. Proud of you.
the risk
love
that I run is if I get that and then I fuck it up and I don't like that pizza, then I have to go another 2 weeks before I get to try.
Oh.
You do it
That's
only
what
once
I
every. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Why don't you go with Becca? She can order that pizza and you can smell it to see if it's
And
something
decide
you
if
would
I
want
want
to
it?
eat.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, balsamic. It's just like
All right,
No,
real-
what-
The prosciutto is what
when
does
we
it.
did that make our own pizza thing for Pizza Hut a couple of years ago, I think we had a balsamic drizzle on the pizza because we realized that balsamic actually works really well.
Yeah, it's like
on a
a
pizza
little
like
bit
that.
sweet. So good.
So I want to mention that if anybody wants to send podcast themes, we're looking for more. You can send them to podcast@roosterteeth.com, right there. So if you have original music for us to play in the outro, 60 seconds or less, send it our way, and maybe you'll hear it in an upcoming podcast.
Send your fidget spinners.
What's escabeche?
It's like the
Escabeche?
pickled carrots and onions and
I don't
jalapeno
like
that you
that.
see at a Mexican
I
restaurant.
don't like that.
You don't like
What
that?
are you looking at?
I'm looking at Mickle Wait's
Wait.
menu. They have a brisket Frito pie.
That's really good.
That sounds
Sounds
good.
good.
Oh,
But
I used to get
brisket,
the
chili,
Dickies.
cheddar, cilantro, escabeche, red onion, and crema.
Frito
It's all
pies are great.
blended in there.
Best Mexican in Austin.
Cocina de Consuelo.
Where's that?
It's on Burnett, just north of 45th by Pacha.
Big,
Okay.
big wait, long wait.
No, wait.
I have one.
Hmm.
Borrego de Oro. It's at South Congress in 290.
Okay.
Or Habanero Cafe, which
Habanero's really good.
is at
By the way,
South
these
First and
two-
Old Wharf.
Eat
We
Mexican
fucking
food.
know.
We know it.
Yeah.
We don't.
I've
you,
never-
You're probably thinking Tex-Mex. These
Yeah,
two eat
it's- I'm
Mexican.
talking
Best
about
Tex-Mex in Austin.
Borrego is Tex-Mex.
I've
Okay.
never eaten at Borrego. I've always wanted to eat there. It's good?
It's so good.
Damn. I always pass that place and I always wonder about it.
Go down to Buda. It's a little bit of a hike, a little
Okay.
bit. Go into the main street in Buda. There's a place called Garcia's,
Uh-huh.
and you can have what is Joel Heyman's favorite thing to eat in the whole world, which is the chicken Garcia. It's a fried chicken breast with queso on it. It's
That
That dude
awesome.
loves some
fucking
queso.
awesome. It's so friggin' good. It is so good.
It's good. I haven't had that since we left the office down in Buda.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
same.
good.
Forgot about that. I forgot the place was even named Garcia's.
Yeah.
Super healthy too.
I had such a little routine. Every time I would go to Buda, I would then go to Culver's.
Oh yeah,
And-
Oh,
Culver's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Go home.
It's a little hamburger stand. They have custard though, which is so good.
Some poor kid in Washington's listening to this podcast. I was like, I don't fucking know what any of these
Well, Culver's
are.
is a chain.
Culver's
Yeah.
chain starts from
Yeah.
Minnesota, I think.
Somewhere in the Midwest, yeah.
Yeah, my kids love it. But
It's not there anymore,
We've been
right?
going
It
there for
closed.
the one in Buda, but there was one on William Cannon.
There's also one up north
Yeah, at Break.
by the Domain, yeah.
But we've been going there for such a long period of time. We don't call that restaurant Culver's. We call it Blue Roof because Teddy would call it Blue Roof when he was
That's
a little kid, when he was like 3 years old. So we'd go to Blue Roof.
All right. Well, speaking of that, it's about time to wrap up. So I want to thank everyone for watching. If you're watching right now on Monday Live, please stay tuned for Cow Chop. They got CCTV coming up next on the Cock Block. If you're watching on YouTube or somewhere else, go look up their video. All right. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye, everybody.